Hello students. So in the last class we saw that we derived boundary layer equations, which were just Navier-Stokes equations, a little bit simplified due to some assumptions made for the boundary layer flow. Okay. So today what we'll do is we'll see a case where where we can find the solution of those boundary layer equations. So that case is called Blasius boundary layer solution, and this is the case of flow over a flat plate. Okay, so we are considering flow over a flat plate, free stream flow over a flat plate. So there is a flat plate, and the assumption about the plate is that this plate extends towards infinity. So this plate is semi-infinite. It is extending from 0 to plus infinity. And on the left side, there is free stream flow. Uniform flow is coming with a velocity of u infinity. So as this flow will interact with the flat plate, a boundary layer will form, and that is what we are trying to investigate. Okay, and this plate is infinite in x also and infinite in z direction also. So the flow is basically 2D and steady. So we are studying 2D laminar flow over a flat plate. Okay, also this plate is very thin. That is our assumption also. So this plate is so thin that it does not take significant amount of flow volume. So what will happen is, if we talk about the external flow outside the boundary layer, that is the in viscid region flow, since our boundary layer thickness is very small, so that assumption is only anyway going on. When we derived boundary layer equations, we were assuming that the boundary layer thickness will be very small. So this picture, don't go on this picture is exaggerated. The actual boundary layer thickness will be so small that it will be like you see that yellow line above the plate, that is the x-axis. So boundary layer thickness in reality will be in order of that thickness. So this is just an exaggerated picture. So assuming that boundary layer thickness is very small and plate thickness is also very small, if I talk about the potential flow that is happening around this plate is taking insignificant amount of space area. So whatever free stream is coming, it will continue. There is no area change here. So what I can say is the U external, UE, the external flow velocity in the inviscid region, it will be simply capital U infinity everywhere. If it was a cylinder, as the potential flow comes or free stream comes, the free stream will accelerate around the cylinder, and on the back side it will again deaccelerate due to area changes. So that is why there UE could change. But in this case, in the case of flat plate, there is no area changes happening from here to here, everywhere. So flow will come like this, and it will keep on going like this, straight. There will be no change in external flow velocity. It will be u infinity. Then what about the pressure gradient? So the pressure gradient inside the boundary layer, that was given by dp by dx. There was no dp by dy. Pressure only varies along the flow inside the boundary layer, and the expression for dp by dx was minus rho e rho ue du by dx. So it was proportional to the gradient of this external flow velocity. And what we see is, in case of flat plate, this is constant. This is not going to change along x. So this is 0. So what we find is, for a flow over a flat plate case, dp by dx will be 0. So there will be no pressure gradient even in x direction. In y already that was not there. So pressure is same everywhere. Constant pressure everywhere. Okay. So because of that, boundary layer equations will be further simplified. So that is the continuity equation plus momentum equation. So x momentum equation, and x momentum equation, that dp by dx term will disappear. So only what is left is the advection terms or you can say inertial terms, u del u by del x plus v del u by del y, inertial terms, and then viscous terms, nu del 2u by del y2. Del 2u by del x2 was neglected due to when we derived Bondulier equations. So this is the final governing equations for flow over this thin flat plate, semi-infinite thin flat plate. Okay. Now we will see how can we solve this. So it was Blasius who is credited for getting the solution of this analytical solution or whatever kind of solution we will see. So let us see how can we solve these equations. Okay. So recall that it was Prandtl who derived these Bondulier equations, and this Blasius is a student of Prandtl who actually solved that for the case of flow over a flat plate. Okay. So we already saw the governing equation, Bondulier equation, that is, and now those governing equations will be subjected to some boundary conditions. So first is no slip boundary condition, that u and v should be 0 at y is equal to 0. Then there is merger with the inviscid flow. So at the edge of the boundary layer, that is the boundary condition for the edge of the boundary layer. So at the edge of the boundary layer, the fluid velocity should become u infinity. So u is equal to u infinity when y tends to infinity. Now this we can write also as y tends to delta as y approaches boundary layer thickness. Okay. And then initial profile, this boundary. So at ux is equal to 0, fluid velocity is u infinity. So these three boundary conditions, and then the previous slides partial differential equations that will govern the flow over a flat plate. Okay. Now since this plate is semi-infinite in this direction, okay, so what you can say, there is no length scale for this problem, right? If we had a cylinder, then the cylinder diameter could be a length scale. If this plate was of finite length, then we could say that okay, length of the plate is a characteristic length that we can use for non-dimensionalization. But since this plate is semi-infinite, we cannot choose infinite length for non-dimensionalization. So there is no characteristic length scale in this problem. And whenever a problem does not have a characteristic length scale or a time scale, then that problem has a similarity solution. This is similar to what we had seen in the Stokes first problem. So in Stokes first problem, what we have was there was an infinite plate, and then there was a stationary flow which was also extended to infinity in the y direction, and then that infinite plate was started impulsively. There also we did not have any characteristic length scale in the problem. Okay, so what we see that in the Stokes problem, we used non-dimensionalization. We tried to find non-dimensional velocity profile, and then due to non-dimensionalization we saw that the velocity was a function of some parameter which was a combination of y and t. So this y direction, y coordinate, and time, they merged together to create a length scale. So that was a similarity solution in y and t. We saw that the velocity profile, they were similar at different times. Velocity profile will be similar to each other. They were self-similar in that sense. So if velocity at time t was like this, after some time it was like this, and those profiles were self-similar. So similarly in this problem also we don't have any characteristic length scale. So what will happen is the boundary layer velocity profile in this region, the velocity profile, that will be also self-similar, and it will be so at different what we mean by that is at different locations along the flat plate. When we draw the velocity profiles, they will be similar to each other. They will differ by a factor. So one profile can be scaled down to reach another profile. Or in other words, if I try to get non-dimensional velocity profile, that will be independent of x. So non-dimensional velocity profile will look similar at all x direction. What is non-dimensional velocity? U by U infinity. We have a reference velocity. So this non-dimensional velocity U by U infinity, this at any x, this profile will be same. Okay, and we'll see how is that possible. So what we can say is that the non-dimensional velocity profile within the boundary layer U by U infinity, it will be a function of y by delta, the boundary layer thickness. So what you can do is either you can use non-dimensionalization concept. You write that U is a function of what? U infinity, right? It's a function of U infinity, it's a function of y, it's a function of fluid property, etc., right, as a function of x. So you write that a functional relationship and then try to use non-dimensionalization, then you non-dimensionalize that x relationship, so you will get similar what I am writing here. So we are just avoiding that exercise here. In the end, what you will find is after non-dimensionalization that U by U infinity will come out to be some function of y by delta, where delta is boundary layer thickness. Okay, so this you can say is this is the non-dimensional velocity profile, and this will be a function of non-dimensional distance from the plate. This y by delta we can say is the non-dimensional distance from the plate. So this delta is now acting like a length scale, but that length scale itself depends on x. Okay, now what is delta? Delta is boundary layer thickness. We saw that delta by L was 1 by square root of Re. The magnitude was close to that. So similarly, delta at a distance x will be approximated by x divided by square root of Re. Re is U infinity x by nu. Okay, so delta I can say is in the order of magnitude nu x by U infinity. Then I can say that then the U by U infinity will be a function of this eta, where eta is simply you replace delta by this. Okay, so within boundary layer U by U infinity will be a function of this quantity, function of y times square root of U infinity by ux. Now this we are obtaining rather by arguments, that drawing similarities with Stokes solution. What you could do is you can, as I said, you can write U as a function of y, U infinity, fluid property nu, and then distance along x. Okay, and then use Epstein's method or pi theorem to get non-dimensional velocity profile, non-dimensionalize that relationship, so you will also get something similar. So I leave that exercise for you. Okay, so in the end what we'll get is this. Okay, so what is the advantage of this, getting this? So let us see that what will happen if we use this non-dimensional arguments. So that is one thing. Second thing is, that is one trick of getting solution. Okay, and the second trick is we have two equations, continuity and x momentum equation. Those need to be solved simultaneously for u and v, right? Two equations, two unknown. Now we can convert this into an equation for one parameter. How? Using stream function approach. If we define a stream function, since this is a 2D flow, we can definitely define a stream function. So when we define a stream function, what will happen? Continuity equation will be automatically satisfied. And then what we'll get is a stream function equation in stream function, the momentum equation for just stream function, which can be solved. So from two equations we'll get just one equation that needs to be solved. So let us do that. So here just I am recalling what we had seen in the last semester. If I define stream function such that u is del psi by del y and v is minus del psi by del x, then continuity equation del u by del x plus del u by del y, u is this, v is this, will be identically satisfied. Okay, so we will use stream function approach. So let us continue with that stream function approach. So first what we'll try to do is find stream function, because we need various derivative of stream function in momentum equation. We need del u by del x also. U is del psi by del y, but we also need del u by del x. Then also we need del u by del y. We also need v. So various quantities, what we'll do, we'll try to figure out those quantities. So first let us look at u. So what we saw was u by u infinity was capital F eta. So I can write u is equal to u infinity into capital F eta, and this is equal to del psi by del y, stream function definition. Then I can integrate this equation to get stream function. Stream function will be simply integral of this u infinity times integral of f eta with respect to y coordinate. This is my stream function. Okay. Now this is a function of eta, and I'm integrating with respect to y. So what we'll do is we'll use the definition of eta to replace this dy with d eta. So this is eta. Eta is equal to y square root of u infinity by nu x. Then I can say del eta by del x is simply u infinity by nu x. Okay. So from here I can get what is dy, and then dy we can replace into this equation. So that will give us the value of stream function. Stream function is equal to u infinity, and then dy is this square root of mu x by u infinity integral of f eta d eta. Okay. So this we will write as square root u infinity nu x small f eta, where small f eta is just a function that will get after integrating capital F eta with respect to eta. Okay, so remember that f is just a function of eta, single function of single variable. Eta is a function of two variables, y and x, right? Eta itself is a function of two variables, but this function f and small f, they are a function of single variable eta. Okay, so small f is simply integral of capital F eta, or I can say capital F is equal to f prime eta, small f prime eta. Okay, so this is now my stream function using definition of u. Okay, so then I need v in the momentum equation. So v from stream function definition is minus del psi by del x. Psi I have just calculated, so I can write v is equal to minus k del by del x of psi, which is this. Okay, now here I need to differentiate with respect to x. Here this thing is also a function of x, and remember f is a function of eta, but eta itself is a function of x. So we'll have to use chain rule here. Both of these things are function of x. So how do we differentiate? Differentiation of this into this plus differentiation of this into this. So f eta and then differentiation of this. Okay, and then plus this thing, derivative of f eta with respect to x. So that can be written as del f b d eta into del x by del x using chain rule, right? Okay, now what is del eta by del x? So that you can calculate eta is a function, eta is equal to y square root of u infinity by nu x. So del eta by del x will come out to be this y u infinity by nu and then derivative of 1 over square root of x times del f by d eta, which also we are writing as f prime eta. Just a short notation for derivative of f, and then u infinity nu x, right? And this thing as it is. Okay, then we can take u infinity nu by square root of u infinity by u infinity nu by x times half. This is common in both places, so this we can take out. This minus and this minus will become plus, so this will be left, so we'll get this y into u infinity by nu x f prime eta and minus f. Okay, so eventually the expression of v will be simply half times this, and whatever was in front of f prime eta, that is simply eta. So in front of f prime was y times u infinity by nu x, so that becomes eta. So that is the expression for v. Okay, so now we have v, expression of u, expression of v in the momentum equation. Then also we have del u by del x, del u by del y, and del 2u by del y2. So these three things are also there. So that also we will find out, and then we have the momentum equation completely known in terms of functions of eta. So let us do. First is del u by del x. So del by del x of u was u infinity into capital F eta. U infinity is a constant, is free stream velocity, very far from the plate, that is constant, and simply this will become del f df by d eta, that is f prime into d eta by dx. And recall that f prime eta was simply f eta. How did we define? We defined that small f prime eta was equal to capital F eta, right? So capital F eta was equal to f prime eta. So this will become, this is f single prime, so f single prime will be double f prime, second derivative. So del u by del x will be simply u infinity, and this thing will become second derivative of small f times this, and then d eta by dx. Okay, then we need to do just some algebra, and you will find that del u by del x will become this minus u infinity by 2 eta by x small f double prime. Okay, here also we have this eta coming from del eta by del x. Next term is del u by del y. First advection term was u del u by del x. Next advection term is v del u by del y. So we need del u by del y. So the same technique, del by del y of u infinity, the value of small u infinity into capital F eta, and that we will write as u infinity into capital F prime del eta by del y. Del eta by del y is simply this. So del u by del y will be this. Capital F prime will become small f double prime. Okay, that is del u by del y. And once we have del u by del y, then we can also calculate del 2u by del y2. That is the diffusion term in the momentum equation. So that del 2u by del y2 is simply del by del y of this thing, del u by del y. So we need to take y derivative of this thing again. So this thing is anyway independent of y. So this can come out. We need to just take derivative of this. This will become f triple prime and then del eta by del y. And del eta by del y is simply this. So this will become 2 times the square root will go away. So it will become u infinity square by nu x f triple prime eta. Okay, so now we have all the terms for the momentum equation. U del u by del x, v del u by del y, and then del 2u by del y2. All we have in terms of eta and f eta. So we can put those things back into the momentum equation. Continuity is already satisfied. So u, small u was u infinity into capital F eta. Capital F eta is simply small f prime eta. Okay, because other things are also in small f, so I will keep everything in terms of small f. So this is u, then del u by del x, this is del u by del x plus v, this thing, times del u by del y, and then del 2u by del y2. Okay, now we just need to do some algebra. So what we do is u infinity square by x to take common. So if you take out u infinity square, u infinity square divided by x, what will be left? 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 eta f prime f double prime. Okay, and then this thing times this thing. Okay, so here also you will have u infinity and then the u infinity. So u infinity square and then square root of x, x. So u infinity square divided by x will come out. Okay, nu and nu will cancel, so these things are gone. What is left is half eta f prime and then this f double prime minus f into f double prime. Okay, and then this side is same, nu and nu will cancel, u infinity square by x f triple prime. Okay, and then this thing will cancel, this thing will cancel. So eventually we'll get a equation for small f, that is f triple prime, and you take this thing to this side, minus half of f into f double prime equal to 0. So in the end, those boundary layer equations, they have eventually become equation in small f. Okay, what is this f prime double prime? These are derivative of f with respect to eta, df by d eta. So this is d3f by d eta cube, and this is d2f by d eta square. Okay, so this is the final equation for flow over a flat plate. This is called Blasey's equation for flow over a flat plate. Okay, and this is a ordinary differential equation, because f is a function of just eta, is a function of single variable. So this is a ODE. So you see that we started with partial differential equations. Those were two partial differential equations, continuity and momentum, and using using stream function approach and then that non-dimensional argument, we have arrived at a ordinary differential equation, and only single ordinary differential equation which needs to be solved. Okay, so this is a third order ODE, and this is also non-linear because of this term. There is a product of f and f double prime. So this is a third order non-linear ODE. This needs to be solved. If we can solve this, then u velocity is simply this and v velocity is this. We can get velocity profiles. Okay, so fortunately we could simplify those equations to this form, but unfortunately this is a non-linear ODE and solution to non-linear equations are not available. So this non-linear ODE does not have any analytical solution available to us till now. Maybe somebody will solve it in future, but till now there is no solution available. So what needs to be done is switch to numerical techniques, numerical integration of ordinary differential equation, this equation. So there are various techniques, numerical techniques to numerically solve these equations. Okay, but you still see that although it may, now you may ask, then what it was the point of doing all this exercise? This cannot be solved. But compared to original two numbers of partial differential equations, we have just single ODE. Okay, so this is much easier to numerically integrate compared to those two original two PDEs. So that's why it is still simpler to compare to original boundary layer equations. So in the next class actually we will see how can this be solved. Okay, so along with the governing equations, original partial differential equations, we also need to take care of the boundary conditions. The boundary conditions also need to be transformed using this transformation eta is equal to this. So what we have done is transformed our original equations from xy coordinate to this eta coordinate, which is this. Okay, so how do we transform? So first let us look at the boundary condition. First was no slip, that u and v at y is equal to 0 at the plate location should be 0 because plate is stationary. So when y is 0, what is eta? Eta is 0. Okay, so at y is equal to 0, eta is equal to 0. So at eta is equal to 0, small u and v are 0. So what about non-dimensional u? U by u infinity. So if u is 0, u by u infinity also will be 0. And what is u? U by u infinity was simply f prime eta. So f prime at eta is equal to 0 should be 0. And then similarly v should be 0. So in v we had eta into f prime minus f. So when you put eta is equal to 0, only f will survive because first was eta into f prime. So that will give us that f at eta equal to 0 also should be 0. So from no slip boundary conditions we will get two conditions for f prime. F. One is f0 is equal to 0 and second is f prime 0 also should be 0 at eta is equal to 0. Okay. Then we have initial profile that was at x is equal to 0 at any y small u is u infinity. So when x is equal to 0, what will happen to eta? Eta will tend to infinity and u by u infinity will tend to 1. So u by u infinity at eta tends to infinity will be 1 and u by u infinity is simply f prime eta. So f prime eta when eta tends to infinity should be equal to 1. That is the other boundary condition. Then we had merger with the inviscid flow, the far field boundary condition. You can say that u very far from the plate, that is when y tends to infinity, or you should say when y tends to delta, when you approach boundary layer thickness, this should be equal to u infinity. So you see that u by u infinity will be 1 and when y turns to infinity again eta tends to infinity. So this initial profile and merger within of far field boundary condition both will become same. So they will collapse into one condition, that is f prime eta tends to infinity equal to 1. So effectively now we have a third order ODE and then three initial conditions. or 3 boundary conditions, whatever you want to say. 3 conditions for the ODE. Okay, so with that, ODE along with these boundary conditions that we need to solve, and how to solve that we will see in the next class.